In our last previews, we discussed King Wu's conquest, the reigns of King Cheng and King Kang, and the flaws of the well-filled system. Today, we will talk about the decline of the Western Zhou dynasty under King Li and King Yu. Let's start with King Li. He is Jihu, the 10th king of the Western Zhou. He was notorious for his greed. Despite being born into luxury as a king, he had an insatiable desire for wealth. Instead of fairly distributing resources to gain the people's loyalty, he implemented a monopoly policy suggested by his minister Rong Yigong. Under this policy and profitable activity, from herbal collection and fishing to hunting, required a tax. This even extended to basic activities like drinking water and walking. One minister warned him that monopolizing profits would harm the people and lead to unrest, comparing it to robbery. However, King Li ignored this advice and continued to heavily tax the people. As resentment grew, public complaints against King Li became widespread. Another minister advised him to change his policies, but King Li, instead of listening, sought out a shaman who claimed to detect dissent. Those accused were executed for slandering the king. This oppressive regime caused the people to become fearful and silent, increasing their hatred for King Li. Believing his methods were effective, King Li proudly declared the end of public dissent. However, his minister warned him that suppressing speech without addressing the underlying grievance was like building a dam to stop a flood. The greater the pressure, the worse the eventual disaster. King Li's greed and oppression eventually led to widespread rebellion. Unprepared for the revolt, he fled the capital and hid in a place called Zhi, modern day maybe Pingyang in Shanxi, for 17 years. During his absence, his family and the state were supported by relatives and ministers, preventing the total collapse of the Zhou dynasty. In our next video, we will discuss the last king of the Western Zhou, King Yu of Zhou. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for my channel.